How you feeling? How's the knee?
Yeah, it's surprisingly good. It's gonna be a slow process, but we avoided the major stuff, so I'm very thankful about that. And like I said the other day, I get to come back and play baseball this year, and so to me, that's the biggest thing.
Dude, all right, we've talked a lot, okay? But listen, there's an old thing in baseball, bro. If you roll around on the ground like that, you better be stretchered off or dead, okay? Like you can't just say I have a bruise. Oh, I'm bruised. Like, come on, Max. Like, I was watching this and we were texting. I was watching this. I'm like, oh my gosh, Max Muncy just died on the field. Like he's gonna have to have his leg amputated. He's rolling around on the ground. And I'm like, okay, he's dead. Something's bad. And then it came back a bruise. Max, explain to the people how bad a bruise can hurt.
Well, I was on crutches, so I mean, obviously it hurts pretty bad. Yeah, no, but just it's one of those things where you get anything around your knee like that, you automatically fear the worst, especially with that kind of impact. My whole leg kind of went numb immediately, so I thought something bad had happened. But you know, we went down underneath, did X-rays immediately. They did the ACL tests and all that stuff where they're yanking on your knee. And obviously I didn't feel great, but it didn't feel as bad as what I thought it would have felt if I had torn something. So I started feeling optimistic immediately. Didn't get the scans till the next day. But yeah, it was just kind of crappy situation that somehow miraculously nothing bad happened out of that, except for just a bruise.
Let me just say this. We're very happy you're healthy. I don't want people to think out there that I'm getting on you. Trust me, I'm extremely happy that you are healthy and this was best case scenario. So I just have to make sure that you know that. And then all the Twitter trolls and all the people in the chat are like, oh, he wants Max Muncy to be hurt. No, not at all. I'm very happy you're healthy. It's just, as you know, in baseball and in sports, people get hurt. And then once we find out they're not worst case scenario, people in baseball are like, oh, we laugh about it. Not laughing at you being injured, but we laugh about the way people, guy gets hit in the elbow, they roll around the ground like they're dead, and then they get back up and keep playing. You're like,
that hurts.
Dude, I know it does. Trust me.
It hurts.
Not to rehash everything, but in those moments when you hurt your knee, in that moment, and you're sitting on a table or they're helping you off the field, what are some of the thoughts that go through your head? I one time I ever got hurt, and you had to wait till the next day to get that imaging. What are some of the thoughts that go through your head?
Well, it was kind of a wide range. I'm down underneath getting the X-rays, and I hear the stadium kind of go nuts. So my first real emotion was, damn it, I missed Kershaw's 3,000. I wanted to be out there for it. I wanted to give him a big hug, and I missed it. Like that was the first thing. As I'm laying there on the ground, I'm like, man, I need to get off this field, otherwise Kersh might kill me. He's trying to get this strikeout. Like I'm holding up this game. I got to get off this field somehow. And that's kind of the first thing that I was thinking about. And then as I'm laying there in bed that night, knowing I have to wait till tomorrow to get to this the next day to get the scans, I'm just replaying everything in my head, because the first thing the doctors always ask you is, did you feel a pop? Did you hear a pop? And I'm like laying there in bed. I'm like, man, did I feel a pop? Like, did I not? Like, I don't know. And so you start just thinking about everything. You get no sleep, and then you got to drive over there and get the scans the next day. And thankfully they get the results from that back pretty quick. And so as I was heading to the field, they'd called and said that structurally everything was good. There was some damage in there, but all the ligaments were still intact. That was the biggest thing. And so for me, it was like that night laying in bed, you just replay everything in your head. And, I start thinking back to 21 when my elbow had gone, and I was like, man, I hope it's not the same thing. Like I can't miss the rest of this year. I just can't do that.
No, you're raking too. You're raking. You want to get back out there. You got them glasses. You're raking, so you want to play. You can't wait to get back. But you mentioned Kershaw, and you went down literally the hitter before he got this 3,000th strikeout. Two things on Kershaw's strikeouts. One, after he got his 3,000, did he come in and check on you, or was he just all enthralled with himself about like, I'm Mr. 3,000 now. Max is down. It's fine, but I got 3,000 strikeouts. And then second of all, have you ever seen a team like the White Sox completely change their approach to not be 3,000 and literally first pitch swing, I'm just going to play pepper. We're not going to strike out no matter what.
Well, so the first one, yeah, Kersh came running up and gave me a big hug. I was telling him congrats, and he was sitting there saying, "Dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." I'm like, "What are you sorry for? It's not your fault." He goes, "No, I let the guy get on second. I'm sorry." And I was like, "Dude, it's not your fault, man." Like, but he came up and gave me a big hug. Freddie came running up, gave me a hug. Show was looking for me. That made me feel pretty good that the guys were coming up to check on me, and especially for Kirsch in that moment to come and give me a hug. It was kind of like, that was awesome. I wanted to give him a hug on the field, congratulate him, but obviously I wasn't out there. And then, in terms of the White Sox, it was yeah, they were putting everything in play. It was no one wanted to be that guy. That's for sure. You know, I, I I think that's something that teams know when you're going in. You go, oh man, this guy's got a milestone coming up. You don't want to be the one to, you don't want to be the guy in the record books on the wrong end of it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I would expect nothing less from Kirsch, by the way, for him to run up and drop everything and give you a hug, because that's just the kind of guy he is. I mean, he's team first. And then for you guys to come back and win that game, I'm sure meant a lot to Kirsch. And then
I want to go off the weekend series against the Astros, which I'm sure the team wants to wipe away as quickly as possible, the sweep. But there's a lot of history here. And I'm going to bring up Orel Hershiser on the broadcast, stirring the pot a little bit just to get the reaction. I'm sure you guys all heard it and even had a good laugh about it. I'll say the quote. He said, this was from the 18-1 game in the opener of the series. Orel on the Dodgers broadcast, legendary pitcher, does a great job. Quote, I don't want to open an old wound, but in some ways they're swinging at these breaking balls like they know what is coming. Your thoughts?
Well, do I think they know what was coming? Yes, I do. Do I think they were cheating to get there? No, I think they had a tip on the pitcher, and that's on us to clean that up. That's not cheating. That's part of the game. Good teams are going to do that. So yes, I do think they knew what were coming, but it wasn't because they were cheating. It's because our pitcher had a tip, and we've addressed it. We've cleaned it up. Hopefully. And that's one of those things where you just have to always be careful about what you're doing out there. You don't want to give anything away to the other team, and that's something that we take advantage of a lot of times. And you have to find a way to clean that up, and that's not cheating. That's part of the game. That's being a smart baseball player is what that is. So
hey, Max, the All-Star game is next week. Is there a bigger snub than Andy Pages and for not making it to the All-Star game? Just because, I mean, we mentioned Kershaw getting the Legends pick, but I mean, Andy Pages has had a great first half and is very deserving.
yeah, Andy Paz is very deserving of the All-Star pick, and I really wish he would get it. There's still a couple days till the break, and things happen, and they might add guys, or so I'm still hoping that he gets the pick, because I agree he's very deserving. What he's done for us in his first half has been incredible. We've been saying it for a while. He's a very good player. Last year he kind of had some struggles in center field, but that's because he was, a corner outfielder, and he's made the adjustments, and he's become a very good outfielder, and probably one of the best arms in baseball without a doubt. He throws rockets out there, and he's very accurate with it. Offensively, he's got incredible bat to ball skills. He's got a good approach. He's got a lot of power in the bat, and he's a star in the making for sure.
Literally, Shohei Ohtani is rehabbing in the big leagues. He's doing it on the mound. What are you seeing from him? Not just on the field where he strikes out the side of a pretty decent lineup, but also all the extra stuff that he has to do to recover, get ready for the game. Oh yeah, and you guys still need him to hit.
He's incredible. He's definitely a unicorn. His pitching rehab it's tough. You're doing a lot every single day, and that was part of the decision, I believe, to start having him do these rehabs in games, because when he was throwing the sim games before the game, it was essentially like he was playing a doubleheader, and he's kind of still doing that with all the stuff that he's doing to try to get ready for the games. And from the pitching side, he looks fantastic. He's throwing hard. The off speed stuff looks nasty. The hitters are off balance on everything, and they're not getting great swings off, and it's just it's really incredible to watch. You're talking about a guy that is as good a hitter as anyone in baseball, and now he's as good a pitcher as anyone in baseball, and like that's so rare to see that. And we've never really seen that before, and we probably won't ever see it again. It's absolutely incredible.
Wait, Max, I got a quick one for you. No one's there. No one's in the locker room. Are you messing with anybody's stuff? Like, do you untie some of like Mookie's shoelaces or tie them backwards to see if anybody notices? Or are you not that bored? Are you just like, no, I'm focused, just baseball stuff, no shenanigans?
Well, we haven't gotten to that point yet. Hopefully I can, rehab my knee fairly quickly, and I won't get to that point. Last year with the oblique, I felt like towards the end I was starting to get to that point where I was like, I'm gonna start just throwing sunflower seeds in guys' shoes when they put them on, see if it, make them laugh a little bit, or but it's yeah, I don't like messing with people's stuff because I know that I hate it when my stuff gets messed with. So I leave people's stuff alone. During the games might be a different story. You try to mess with guys a little bit, maybe put a little gum on their hat or something like that. But the classic dugout jokes,